Hey guys, it's Angel. It's almost the middle of August, and that means summer is basically over, so I wanted to squeeze in this last sunset-inspired mani, which was inspired by me. Back on June 19th, 2015, we are going back in time. I posted these Sharpie glitter nails on Instagram. This was before I had my YouTube channel. If you didn't know, I started over on Instagram. I probably had like 30,000 followers then, and this mani was reposted everywhere, and it definitely helped my Instagram grow. I thought I was like so famous. So cringy. Here is the tutorial. This was back when you could only post 15-second videos on Instagram. I don't even know how we lived. And it's over. I thought it would be fun to do a similar mani, but with different color Sharpies. I forgot to film base coat application, but I used Super Chic Lacquer's Bring It On Base Coat. Before we could delve into the Sharpie application, we need like a very hollow sparkle base. Like, I'm not just talking a little bit of hollow, I'm talking like you've never seen anything like this before. This is Different Dimension Big Bang, which is a silver holographic glitter polish. It has no base color, it is just 100% hollow glitter sparkles, and I love this polish. I've used this a few times on my channel. It's been out for I think like 3 years now. I just love it. And yes, because of all those hollow sparkles, it's definitely a little bit of a thicker consistency, but it's very easy to apply, and it is 100% opaque with only 2 coats. You don't even have to sponge this on. And then the remaining steps are going to be a little bit messy, so I'm applying some liquid latex. This is Bundle Monster Poly Peel Cuticle Protector, because if you thought we were done with the hollow glitter, you were completely wrong. I'm applying Break the Ice from China Glaze, which is like a broken glass, shattered hollow top coat. This also has a clear base. And I just applied it to a makeup sponge, and then I sponged it all over the nail. And this is not full coverage, obviously, that's why I'm sponging it on, because it's just kind of a sparse application. But whoa, does this not bring it to the next level? This is so intense, and I could totally see someone just wanting to wear this on their own, because I think it looks really, really pretty. And then I let the hollow base dry for about 10 to 15 minutes and picked out my Sharpie colors. I went with a purple, pink, an orange, and a yellow. I thought those would just look like a really cool summer sunset together. The next step is pretty straightforward. You're just going to be drawing the Sharpies directly onto your hollow glitter base. I wanted the gradient to go from dark to light, so I started with the purple near the cuticle area. And since the purple Sharpie is super pigmented and dark, I went a little bit slower near the cuticle area so that I wouldn't get it on my skin or the exposed nail area in between the cuticle and where the hollow glitter starts. So just go slow. It's not going to stain your nails. You can remove it with acetone or the alcohol that I'm going to be using in a bit. Then I moved on to the pink Sharpie, and I just drew a line across my nail to make it a little bit easier for myself, and then I just colored in. I don't really know what else to say or how to explain this. Due to the texture with the glitter, it kind of helps to do like a little bit of a dabbing motion with the Sharpie, so you get in between those nooks and crannies. And then I went over the purple line with the pink Sharpie to help blend them a bit. You don't absolutely have to do this, but I do feel like it helps when we're blending with the alcohol. Moving on to the orange Sharpie, I drew another line to help me color in, and at this point I realized my hollow glitter base wasn't completely dry because I could see the Sharpie tip moving around some of the glitter pieces, but what are you gonna do? It did not matter in the end. And I felt like my orange Sharpie was kind of drying out because it wasn't as juicy as the pink or the purple one, so I had to do a lot of dabbing. And finally, the last color is the yellow, and I felt like the yellow was a little harder to apply than the pink or the purple because it was the free edge of the nail, and I didn't have my finger underneath there supporting it, so I really had to work the Sharpie into those little crevices to make sure that I got enough yellow on there. So my ring nail took me about 5 or 6 minutes to color in with the Sharpies, which can add up if you're doing all 10 nails. So I decided to film my middle nail without worrying about my camera being in focus and just see how quickly I could do it. And I probably got this one done in about a minute and a half. So if you are going to do this mani at home, it's not going to take as long as it seems. Hope that makes sense. For the next step, I'm going to use 91% isopropyl rubbing alcohol. The lower percentages don't really work as well. You can buy this pretty much at any drugstore. I pour a little bit of the alcohol out into a dish and then using a small detail brush, pick up some of the alcohol, just a little bit. And then you could use the brush and the alcohol to help the Sharpie colors blend together. You want to try to keep the alcohol at the part where the two colors are touching, otherwise it's going to get a little bit muddy. So as you can see, the alcohol is just kind of doing most of the work. It's dissolving the Sharpie colors and they're just naturally blending together by sort of bleeding through the glitter. Now we could switch to the next section. So you want to make sure you swirl your brush around in the alcohol to clean it off because you don't want to mix the colors, and then pick up a little bit more of the alcohol and just do the same thing. And since the pink is a little bit more of an intense color, you got to be careful that you're not dragging too much of it over the orange. And moving on to that purple area, this is where I had to be the most careful because that purple is so pigmented that it really just wants to bleed down into that pink. So I just used a lot less of the alcohol and just was careful where I placed my brush. And then when the brush was more dry, I could kind of pull that purple up onto the cuticle area and I could fill in the areas where I missed with the Sharpie. And you're going to notice once the alcohol dries, it's going to make the surface of the glitter look a little matte, but don't worry, when we add top coat, it brings it back to life. Then I could finally remove the liquid latex. Then I did some cleanup with 100% acetone, and I don't know if you can see, but I did have a little bit of the purple on the surface of my nail and it just came right off. People always ask if the Sharpie stains your nails when you're removing the polish, and I have never had that happen. It does not stain when you're removing it. And finally, I could add top coat. I used Super Chic Lacquer's Liquid Macro Top Coat. And yes, this is a lot of glitter, so it does have the tendency to want to eat your top coat. If I wouldn't have been filming, I probably would have done 2 layers of top coat, but I didn't want to wait for it to dry, so I only did the 1. So my nails aren't going to be as smooth as glass in the end, but that never really bothers me. So that completes my Sharpie Sunset glitter nails, and what a throwback to early TwiStar circa 2015. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I've been doing this for that long. I think I started in August of 2014. I gotta look that up. Whoa, wow, I think that means that I am just about to hit, or I already hit my 3-year nail anniversary. Wow, okay, this tutorial is perfectly fitting then because, yeah, I think I've been doing this for 3 years now. Wow. So now I'm going to guilt you into following me on Instagram. If you aren't, why not? You're basically slapping me in the face. You can follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter at @twi_star. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.